So some people have expressed their concerns with me going over 100 days on No Fap, going 100 days without blowing my load, and they think it's very unnatural and they're not comfortable with talking about it. So I'm gonna get to that, but first, how did we get to the point where violence is more socially acceptable than sex?
Fruitarian, living lifestyle, learn about the benefits, and start now. Eating from the vine and feeling divine. Fruit living with nature's design.
To me, sex is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen or experienced. Hands down. Hands on, but hands down. Why is it okay to upload YouTube videos of people fighting, but not okay to upload YouTube videos of people making love? I would define sex as the pinnacle, the apex of bonding. And without sex, none of us would be here today. So each of us, you and me, we're all a result of two people having fallen in love and bonding to the point where they have sex. Okay, but that's sex. How about fapping or jacking off? Why is this topic so taboo for some people to talk about? Well, just a couple years ago, I was in that boat. I was too immature to even talk about it, and I was definitely too embarrassed to even listen to it. But now here I am making a YouTube video about it for over 1,000 people to see. The reason I think it's so hard for people to talk about and even embarrassing for people to listen to is because we're so socially conditioned. We're so conditioned by our environment, by our upbringing, by the people around us, that we don't even really think for ourselves anymore. We think, yeah, it is weird, yeah, it is gross, yeah, I can't talk about that, ooh. But we don't actually stop and think about it, how awesome it is. We're just so conditioned that we blindly go along with it and we stay hushed up about it instead of trying to break free. We've all been so conditioned since birth to stay hushed up about it that none of us even try and break free.
Well, this video is gonna hopefully break you free.
Check this out. We live in a world where it's okay to beat the crap out of someone to hurt them, but it's not okay to talk about beating ourselves to feel good. That's crazy. One is hurting someone and the other is feeling good. When I was little, I used to watch wrestling on TV, but then my sister told me it was fake. So I moved on to UFC and boxing. But then my dad told me something profound that has always stuck with me. He said,
Ted, boxing is the only sport where the goal is to hurt the other person.
We as humans are so conditioned to accept that professional sports like boxing and the UFC are okay, even though the only goal is to get two people together to hurt each other until one gets either knocked the fuck out or the other taps out for too much pain, too much injury. You tell me, how is it okay to socially accept having two people fight each other to near death in public, but not okay to have two people get together and make love in public? The way I see it is that sex is the pinnacle, sex is the apex of what happens when two people get together and really like each other on an intimate level. And a lot of people think that when you go a long time without blowing your load, you get really desperate and all you want to do is go blow your load with a girl. But it's quite the contrary. The opposite is true. When you go over 100 days without blowing your load, the last thing on your mind is blowing your load. You don't want to do it. You just feel way too good all the friggin' time to ever want to stoop down to that level and lose your load. And to lose what's making you feel this good. Your seed becomes your baby. You don't want to lose it. But of course you still want to get with women. Of course you still want to get close with women. Of course you're still attracted to them. And actually, in fact, women become so much more beautiful. Women become so much more attractive when you're on No Fap. You start to see them as goddesses instead of just objects of pieces of meat that you want to bang. They just become these perfect, immaculate goddesses. Really, it's the only good word for it, really. Women are just so freaking beautiful when you're on No Fap. Every girl becomes beautiful. I'm seeing the beauty in girls that I had never seen before. I'm seeing the beauty in really overweight girls. I'm seeing the beauty in really, really skinny anorexic girls. I'm seeing the beauty in girls who have a bunch of acne all over their face, or girls who cover themselves up with makeup. I can see through all that stuff now. Whereas before I just immediately judged them by the surface level, now I can really connect with them on a heart-to-heart level, on a soul level, and I can see through past that stuff. Every girl is freaking beautiful now, man. It's crazy. I love it. If she's 4, she's insanely cute and beautiful, and if she's 44, she's still beautiful, and if she's 104, she's just the most beautiful old lady ever. So no matter the age, no matter the weight, no matter the skin color, no matter the race, every girl has become a goddess now that I'm on No Fap. In my eyes anyway. But does that mean I'm desperate? Does that mean I want to get with them all? No way, man. More than ever before, I want to connect with them on an eye-to-eye, heart-to-heart level. I want to be able to laugh with them, I want to be able to be myself around them, and I want to be able to go have fun with them. I want to go do some fitness together. I want to just be able to share myself with them. I want relationship quality girls. Now that I'm on over 100 days on No Fap, I could never just sleep with the girl just for the sake of getting off, just for the sake of busting a nut, porno style. No way. I want to bond for other reasons now, because it's not about just getting into bed and having sex. But when things do lead to the bedroom, when things do lead to you getting under the sheets or on top of the sheets like you do here in Thailand, you just remember that the apex of bonding doesn't mean it's the climax. You don't need to climax in order to complete the bond. You know, you just bond without having to blow your load, without having to ruin it all. Because after you've blown, you're done. You really don't care about sex. You really don't care about bonding anymore. You just want to lay down and sleep. As a guy anyway, for a girl it's completely different, I understand. But for a guy, when you don't blow your load, you feel so good afterwards. You feel medicated. You feel like, you feel high, you feel stoned, you feel medicated. You're just infused with this feel-good hormone from the both of you that you've been exchanging. For me, not blowing my load has me feeling way better after sex than if I had blown my load. I'm not doing no fap just for fun, just for a challenge. I'm doing it because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel way better than blowing my load ever did. After sex, I feel infused. I feel medicated with some crazy hormone that's making me feel super good throughout the rest of the day, throughout the rest of the night. And the only come down effect, the only come down from this high is a good night's rest, is a good night's sleep. Who wouldn't want to feel high for hours after sex? Maybe those who are just addicted to ejaculating and just addicted to getting off. When you don't blow your load, the next morning you wake up with no loss of motivation and no stodgy fatigue. Usually there's a fatigue that accompanies the follow-up of an ejaculation. So again, when you go 100+ days without blowing your load, you don't want to blow your load. You don't want to get with the girl just to get off, just to nut inside her. So sex all of a sudden becomes something you do for an entirely different reason. You do it more to bond rather than just to get off. It's fun, it's exciting, it's childlike. There's less attachment to the outcome and just more fun in the process of it. It's really cool. There's some people on YouTube who say that you should whack off before you meet the girl so that when you do meet her, you're not so sexually inclined, you're not so sexually desperate just to get off with her. But after 100 days of no fap, that's completely unnecessary, because just like when you're on a raw foods diet, when you're on no fap, your standards go way up. Think about this. How often does an obese person get desperate around food and think, oh my god, I have to eat now, I'm so hungry now? I've been around obese people, I've been around overweight people, and they say that quite a lot. Every time we hang out, it revolves around food. Hey, you wanna go eat? You wanna go eat? You wanna go eat? Always talking about food, they gotta eat now. But when I'm hanging around raw food people, like at the Woodstock Fruit Festival or here in Thailand, they come over, we don't even really talk about food. We can go hours and hours and hours without food, and there's no immediate sense of, I need to eat right now. It's just, hey, when food comes, we can eat. If not, cool, no problem. We're notorious for going hours without eating. We're notorious for doing dry fast. We're notorious for doing 21-day water fast, or 22 days on coconut water, or 80 days on oranges. There's definitely no desperateness or urgency about us when it comes to food. And same with when you go on no fap, and same with when you go 100+ days on no fap. You lose that urgency, you lose that necessity to get off now. Your standards go way up and you can just sit back and relax and wait for the perfect girl to come around, wait for the perfect opportunity to happen in your life. That's why we stick to no fap. That's why I'm over 100 days now. But I think nature has gone ahead and done a really good job of setting this up so that when you go a long time without busting your nut, nature's gonna make sure that you find that really perfect girl that you're genuinely interested in, that you genuinely want to have a relationship with before you do bust your nut with her. Because when you do, she's likely gonna get pregnant, you're likely gonna have a kid together. So it kind of guarantees you're only gonna have sex with really awesome girls. And when it comes to fapping, there are some YouTubers in the vegan community who get really uncomfortable with me talking about having gone over 100 days on no fap. They'd rather people like me remain hushed up about it.
What?
I don't think these happy and healthy vegans even understand how much happier and healthier you can be if you do no fap. Perhaps I should list 3 benefits that I found since starting no fap. First benefit I already mentioned is that all girls become beautiful. I'm seeing the beauty in all girls, where before it was so judgmental, it was so surface level, it was so shallow. I'd see, oh, would I bang her? No, I'm not even gonna talk to her. Most guys are like this, because most guys, they go on porn, they click on the most attractive thumbnail, and there's millions of them, they click on the most attractive thumbnail, and they get off to that. Then they walk around their life and they see that most girls aren't like the girls in porn, so therefore they're not even worth their time. And that's why most guys, when they do see a girl with implants, are like, holy crap, she looks like the girl I watch on porn, I'm gonna go talk to her. But when you're on no fap, all girls become beautiful. It evens the playing field. You really see the beauty in all girls, no matter what their shape, size, color, race, age, or height, or whatever. They're all freaking beautiful. And that's really cool because it's a benefit you see everywhere, and it's a benefit you can experience on an everyday, moment-to-moment basis every time you speak with a girl. Second big benefit is that I have way more stable energy and mood throughout the day and night. I train for triathlon 2 to 4 hours a day. You can check my Strava. And every day somehow wake up and I'm motivated to go through the day. On the days where I used to whack off the night before or in the morning, dude, the whole day would suck. I'd be like, oh, no motivation to clean, no motivation to train. And when it would come time to train, I wouldn't have the willpower to keep pushing on. So not only do I have more stable energy and mood, but my willpower is always up there. So since you do have to use willpower when it comes to not blowing your load when you're having sex or when you're fapping without blowing your load, you actually strengthen your willpower, and that willpower carries over to fitness, that willpower carries over to business, that willpower carries over to your other relationships, that willpower carries over to every aspect of your life and makes you a better person. Willpower really is a muscle that can be strengthened. Oh. But the sweetest benefit of all is this sense of self-confidence, just the sense of feeling like an alpha male, feeling very sure of yourself. Not in an extroverted way, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm confident, I can do whatever the hell I want, but more just in a contained sense that you can go up and talk to whoever you want, say whatever you gotta say, do whatever you gotta do, without fear, without anxiety. And if you do have the fear and if you do have the anxiety, you can control it, it doesn't control you. that is the most amazing feeling that I never want to give up. I truly, truly, truly credit the past 100 days of No Fap to making me feel the way I feel now. When it comes to setting a PB on the bike, run, or in the swim, I confidently go into the workout, I confidently give it my best shot and see what comes of it. Whereas before I'd be overwhelmed with this fear, thinking like, oh, what if I fail, what if I fail, what if I fail? Now it doesn't matter, you have this sense of like, I got nothing to lose, man, I got nothing to lose. I haven't blown my load in friggin' 100 days, I got this child inside of me, this seed inside of me that could come out any minute. I got nothing to frickin' lose, man, let's do this thing. That, what I just explained there, that is priceless, man. If people could buy a drug, if people could inject a drug or pop a pill to make themselves feel the way I feel now after 100 days on No Fap, they'd freaking do it. They would do it. The confidence I feel now, the sereneness I feel now, the calmness I feel now, untouchable. It's untouchable. The only way to ever attain this, I think, is to go 100 days on No Fap or to, I don't know, do something extraordinary with your life. But if you're a guy watching this and it's confidence you're after, go 100 days without busting your nut and you tell me how confident you become. I guarantee you go from being a cat to being a tiger or a lion, man. You just feel, whoo! Do this! Nothing to lose, man. Let's freaking do it. So as you can see, I'm definitely passionate about doing No Fap. I'm definitely passionate about feeling my best at all times. And if No Fap is the answer, if No Fap is the key to unlocking this great feeling that I and millions of others are experiencing, then why not talk about it? Why remain hushed up about it? Screw that, man. This works for me. This works for thousands of, probably millions of other people. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. But for those who don't want to see what I post, for those who don't want to see what I post, unsubscribe. It's up to you. Since when are adults embarrassed to talk about sex or masturbation, man? I'm only 25 years old. I thought adults were like, oh, like adults knew everything, adults were calm, adults were cool, but no, apparently adults are they're not. Man, if you're in your teens watching this video right now, if you're between the age of like 13 and 18 and you're watching this video right now, just know that adults don't know any more than you do about most things. They know more about maybe some street smarts just because they have more experience with it, but for the most part, things like this, their own body, you probably know just as much as them about it. Because a lot of adults are really closed-minded, they're not open to learning new things. So now I'm in my mid-20s, I'm in the mid-section between being a teenager and being a real adult. Most of you would consider me a real adult now, but I think I'm on that bridge right now, and I can see that, man, adults, they're not what we think they are when we're teens. When we're teenagers, we think adults know everything. Bullocks. They don't know anywhere near as much as we think they do. And one more quick point I want to drop before this video ends is that for me, No Fap is not about a porn addiction. I was never addicted to porn. I was addicted to fapping for the stress relief. You know, every night I go to bed, I feel kind of stressed out. I'd find myself reaching under there, whacking one off. Done, stress was gone, without ever getting to the root cause of the stress. So I'd wake up the next morning, still feel the cause of the stress coming on, not want to deal with it, just whack off, boom. Feel good, stress gone, go about my day. So most people never get to the root cause of what's causing their stress. They just want to wank it off. They just want to release the dopamine in the brain and get it out of there without getting to the root cause of it, or without transmuting that sexual desire into something creative, something they're being called to do. They just put it off by whacking it off. But when you learn to deal with what's causing the stress, you become way more productive because none of this stuff starts to undermine any of your projects. But arguably the worst thing about dusting your dolphin day and night like this is that you never really get to the point of wanting to connect with girls at a heart-to-heart level. Your whole viewpoint on things, your whole reason for connecting with girls is just to get laid, just to get off. Because that's what you're so used to doing. You're just used to whacking one off and getting it off every time you think of a girl. But on No Fap, you start to see girls as goddesses rather than just pieces of meat that you want to bang. So I don't see the issue in talking about it. I don't see the issue in going 100+ days. I don't know when I'm ever gonna stop. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, it could be tonight. I have no idea. Whatever happens, happens. I go with the flow of things. I'm just doing this for as long as it feels good. Granted, I didn't get to this point. I didn't say, okay, I'm gonna do No Fap and then go 100 days. I said, I'm gonna go No Fap, and then I went 3 days, and then I went back to day 0. Then 7 days back to day 0. Then 14 days and back to day 0. I kept going. Sometimes I go like a month and then I'd fall back to day 0 and I wouldn't make it past a week for another 2 weeks, if you know what I mean. Just banging off every day because you're in the stress cycle. And then you go 2 months and then finally go back to day 0. And then finally you break through to this new plateau and you're on day 90 and then you're about to slip up and then you hold it together and you go another 10 days and now over 100 days. And I don't know, honestly I'm probably day 120 or something. The last time I did it was early April, so you guys do the math. April, May, June, July. That's like 4 months. 4 times 3 is over 120 days now. But I gotta admit here, when I very first heard about No Fap, it was through Derek. Derek, known as Unconventional Living. Check out his channel right here. When I first found out about it, he was in my room, and I thought the guy was a freaking nut job. I thought he was a weirdo for even bringing it up. He said, dude, try something. Try not fapping. And I was like, instantly, block came up, I said, dude, shut up, like in my head. Don't even talk about that, I'm obviously never gonna do that. Sex is normal, jacking off is awesome, jacking off feels good. Why would I ever wanna freaking do that? I thought he was crazy. But after giving it a go, obviously I was like, whoa, wow, like this is crazy. Then I started having conversations with other people who are doing it, and one thing led to another, and I learned about this whole community of people doing it. And what I've since realized, honestly, is that No Fap is just as powerful as Fruitarianism. And anyone new to Fruitarianism, I would highly encourage you to combine No Fap with the Fruitarianism. It's gonna make it so much easier. When you're not addicted to whacking yourself off, when you built up that willpower, when you built up the strength of discipline not to whack yourself off, you're also gonna have the discipline, and you're not gonna have the addictive nature of getting yourself off with cooked food either. So peace, thanks for watching. Hope you got something from this video. Again, this whole video is not me trying to tell you to do anything. It's just my thoughts and opinions about the beautiful world of No Fap. But who the hell am I?